Greetings, my noble knights, it is I, Blaze Templar, and we are in fact starting to catch back up, if you will, in the entire, hey, let's get rolling. It is the 7th of the new year. I really want to do things and rock it out and everything. So, decided, you know what, for our first video of this year, we're going to go ahead and do something a little different in the fact that we're actually going back to our roots and doing a little bit of Pokemon. Now, admittedly, it's just a couple battles, really just one. And so it's going to be a bit of a shorter video, but that being said, I am going to be doing some other stuff here soon too, so look forward to that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Instead of thinking about the awfulness that 2021 has already delivered with the inauguration stuff with everything, instead of thinking about that, let's get into something a little more fun. And so I put together a National Dex OU team. Pretty simple kind of build for me. I wanted to run Scissor because, hey, it's been a while since I've gotten to run Scissor. I want to do that again. Pretty standard set: Swords Dance, Pursuit, Bullet Punch, and Roost. Choice Scarf Heatran. I don't really run Choice Scarf Heatran much, but figured Scarf Eruption sounds like a lot of fun right now. Throw in Overheat so I can do like in and out attacks once I start getting lower in health. Earth Power for maximum damage output with the ground attack. And of course, Flash Cannon just to hit them annoying fairies, which there are some pretty bulky ones, so that's important. Lando T, I actually decided it's going to be my rocker, but not only is it going to be my stealth rocker, it's also going to be given a normal gem and explosion. Now, this isn't a common set anymore. This was really a Gen 5 set. U-turn, Earthquake, Explosion, and Stealth Rock. Really nice kind of offensive utility. Take a couple hits with the Intimidate and whatnot, and then blow up once you know your Pokemon's about done. Azumarill, I'm actually running a Gen 7 set. That's right, Gen 7 Z Belly Drum set. Except I decided to replace Play Wet Rough with Brick Break. Now, normally I wouldn't do that. I'm not a big fan of Brick Break because it's only base 70 power. But one of the things I noticed about this team is it really needs some fighting coverage. And I could run Superpower, which is technically more powerful than Azu's Brick Break, but we're talking about Z Belly Drum Azu. It really doesn't need the attack increase, especially since afterwards you lose the stat boost. Definitely didn't want to mess around with that, and I needed a way to get around Ferrothorn, as Azu is complete bait for Ferrothorn. Otherwise, Liquidation, of course, because it's Stab, base 85, so it's actually stronger than Waterfall by 5 points, and it has a chance to lower defense, and, of course, Aqua Jet, because it's priority, and a +6 Aqua Jet from a huge power Pokemon is nothing to laugh about. Can do a lot of damage. Next is Roserade. This is kind of a weird support utility set with some attack investment, max speed, max special attack, I believe, with Sleep Powder and Aromatherapy with Leaf Storm and Sludge Bomb. It's not really meant to stay in for long. It's just kind of utility as a whole. Then, of course, Espeon. This is actually a more offensive Espeon than I tend to run. I can't remember its full moveset at the moment, unfortunately. But it is Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and I think Hidden Power Fighting, maybe? If I remember correctly. Highly aggressive. Wise Glasses just for additional damage. I'll figure out what I want to do with its item later. But, you know, just something to give it that little extra kick while I think about what I want to do. Maybe I'll run a Focus Sash. That might make a lot of sense with Espeon, and just ensure I get the Magic Bounce off a little more effectively. So, still thinking about that. Anyway, let's get started, finally. So, anyway, he leads Altaria, which Altaria is pretty threatening with its Mega Evolution, and I know that these things like to run either the physical or special set. Now, Lando can take a hit, regardless if it's physical or special right now. If it's physical, that's great, which it proves right there that it is physical, because then I can just, you know, take the hit because of the Intimidate. But if it's special, I can still take the hit and take it out. So that's kind of how it plays out. And I just go immediately for the Explosion. Now I go into Heatran, kind of going, I'm not sure what he wants to do. But then he brings in Snorlax, and I know exactly what kind of set this is. If you bring in Snorlax like this, 9 times out of 10, it's probably the Curselax set, just from where I'm at right now. Talking tier knowledge, or, ELO ratings as well. Not just what the Pokemon's capable of. These things like to run, like, a lot of more veteran players like to run things like Assault Vest Snorlax, which makes a lot of sense, or some still run Curselax. It's alright, but as you can see, it's got a Curse, go figure. Like I said, it's really common set for Snorlax, especially in the lower rungs of the teams. But it's just going to keep cursing on an Azumarill, which is not a good idea, because now I can just Brick Break it and destroy it. Now, Brick Break was really for the Ferrothorns and that sort of thing, but it easily clears out the Snorlax. Now I can just Aqua Jet. Zangoose, not going to survive that by any stretch of imagination. The only thing that could potentially survive an Aqua Jet from this monster is, in fact, the Gastrodon. But, yeah. Gastrodon, not exactly great on the physical defensive side, and so Brick Break is still going to melt it alive. And last but not least is, of course, that Charizard, and that will clear it up without a problem. Aqua Jet, easy cleanup. Now, best ways to deal with Azumarill are things like not Misty Terrain, Psychic Terrain, which blocks priority, and then you can just take it out at ease, or at will. Queenly Majesty is another way to deal with it. Prankster, like Sleep or something, is another way to do it. Prankster Will-O-Wisp isn't a bad option. I mean, at +6, it's going to be still +3, so it's not great. You're still going to be getting hit by a +3 Azumarill with huge power, which is absolutely bonkers damage still, but it's a lot more manageable. And if I wasn't running Brick Break, Ferrothorn is a great hard counter to Azu, but again, I am running Brick Break for that exact reason. It really deals well with the steals that water attacks don't. So, yeah. Other ways are Unaware. Something like Quagsire just kind of laughs in Azu's face. Sure, it still hits pretty hard, but it's Quagsire. It can recover off the damage, Scald until it gets the burn, and Azumarill is doing absolutely nothing at that point. There are other Unaware Pokemon that deal just as well. Clefable's actually a pretty good choice, although I'd say I'd have to worry about the defense drops from Liquidation, but again, Unaware doesn't care about that. So you kind of get the idea. Any Unaware Pokemon does well. Anything that's bulky enough to take a hit and outspeed. Non-Aqua Jet, so some Steel types are an option, as long as they can take the Aqua Jet, like I mentioned, and hit hard enough to take it out afterwards. Things like that. So as Azumarill, a really threatening Pokemon if you let it get set up like this guy did, unfortunately, but is very manageable in a lot of cases. Still, do not disrespect the little water bunny. And that's kind of what I wanted to go with today. I know it's a short video, and I apologize for that, but hey, we're going to try to do some other stuff. Return to Chrono Cross in the near future. I finally have a capture card that'll do that. I am working on Persona 3 as well. I am also looking very seriously at returning to YouTube for all streaming, just so we have the ability to stream on YouTube and kind of get a little more interaction going. I like streaming on Twitch. It's a lot better, but there are issues that are coming up on Twitch that is making YouTube more and more appealing despite the issues YouTube has, because it's just like I'm having the same issues now on Twitch that I had on YouTube, but now I'm trying to build up a second platform and it has the issues that the first platform had. It doesn't seem quite so reasonable anymore. Anyway, that's kind of the mindset to considering the switch over back to YouTube. And yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.